Hello, hello, my brothers and sisters. This is Garrett Bake, your brother in arms, and welcome to another episode of Dun Da Da Da. What? Name change? That's right, the Tactical Businessman. Awaken the Guardian. We should play taps because it is no more. The name has changed to the Tactical Businessman. So sit back and relax, or sit back, grab your pen and your notebook, because listen, we're going to get super deep on some stuff today. This is a special episode because I need to share with you what it is that I'm doing, but more importantly, the why. Why is it that I'm doing what I'm doing? So this is episode 28. So up until this point, the name of the podcast has been Awaken the Guardian. Its purpose to help men and women identify what inside needs to be awakened, whichever term you like to use, to help them get what they want out of life, right? And so a lot of this podcast has been primarily focused on some of the core principles that I teach, some of the core principles that I've taught, a lot of my life lessons, but also a lot around police officers and their stories. Here's the thing. Before I get back into that, I'm going to talk about a foundational formula that I use. Something that was taught to me so many years. Well, I say so many years. It was taught to me over 2 years ago, and it has literally shifted how I do everything in my life right now. Like how I interact with my wife, how I interact with my kids, what business looks like for me, how my relationship with God is, what I do physically. Like everything that I do in my life has shifted because of this foundational formula. It's the 4 F's. If you've listened to my podcast before, you've probably heard me talk about it. If not, well, welcome. Now you get to listen to it. So before I joined Warrior, before I shifted my life, I fell into this cycle, right? We call it, in police work, we call it the cycle of violence. Why do we call it that? Because it normally applied to incidents of domestic violence. And here's how the cycle of violence worked. Normally a woman would be walking along, having a good time, right? With her boyfriend, husband, whatever. And the boyfriend/husband would get triggered by something she said, something she did, or something that she didn't do. Cook, clean, yell at her. Like there was something happened that would trigger this man. And this man, in his anger, would slap, hit, throw something at, choke, do something to this woman to physically cause her harm. And this woman, in her shock, would do what? She would call the police. She'd call the police. She'd be screaming and yelling and crying and arrest him. I never want to see him again. F him. And that was the end of it, right? We obviously see bruising, bleeding, choke marks, like torn clothing. We'd see things on her that would justify the fact that he needed to go away. And so he'd get arrested and we would take him away. Now, 2 weeks later, we'd go to court, his initial appearance in court for domestic violence charges, and we'd show up, and guess who key witness number 1 was for the defense? That's right, the wife, the same wife, girlfriend, who had been beaten, choked, dragged, whatever it was, a couple weeks prior, was now the star witness for the defense, getting on the stand, lying, saying, he never hit me. He never choked me. He never did anything like that. He's a great man. I want him out of jail. I don't want him to be arrested. I don't want him to be charged. I don't want to press charges, on and on and on. And we'd sit there looking at this woman like, are you kidding me? Like, do you remember what you looked like 2 weeks ago? Do you remember how desperate you were for him to get out of your house? And here we are again. But this time you love him. And so, of course, the judge would dismiss the charges. They'd walk out of the court arm in arm, super happy. And then 2 weeks later, guess what? We were back at this residence. It was either 2 weeks or a month or 2 months or even 4 months. Like, it didn't matter. We'd go back to what? To the exact same situation. He hit me, dragged me, choked me, stabbed me, did something to me. I want him arrested. And on and on and on. And so it was this cycle, right? This cycle where the woman would what? Something would happen, trigger the man. He would hit the woman, do something to her. She would be triggered. Triggered to what? Triggered to anger. And down she would go into the cycle of anger. I don't want him around. He's done all this to me, and then blame the next phase. She would blame him for everything that didn't happen right in her life. She would blame him for screwing up her life. She would blame him for everything. And then he'd get arrested. He'd get taken away. A few days would pass. And what would she start to feel? After first anger, then blame, would come the two key emotions that would set everything off. The first is guilt. Guilt for what she did. Guilt for even telling the truth. Guilt associated with, quote unquote, ruining this man's life. Guilt, which would then lead to what? Shame. Shame for what she done, wanting to make amends, wanting to make corrections, not wanting to be responsible for this man's unhappiness. And so, anger, blame, guilt, and shame, she gets to the bottom of this pit, and immediately she wants what? She wants to go back to the way things used to be. Why? Because at least she knew what was going to happen. And she knew that prior to this event, things were going good. They were going okay. They were going whatever. It was good enough for her to stick around. So she wants to go back to the way things used to be. Now we sit here, armchair quarterback in the stands, and we mock at her and we laugh at her and we say all these things to her because she keeps going back in this cycle. Back. But guess what? We do the same exact things in our lives. The same exact things. Think about this. We'll apply it, right? Ready? Your body. You don't work out for a period of time. Then you go to the gym and you try and bench press. You try and bench press a whole 135 pounds, which is, for those of you who are unaware, the 45-pound plates on each side. And you try and bench press, and you can only do one measly one, when in high school you could do 12. So what do? You get angry. And you start to blame who? I don't know, everyone and anyone, that you're out of shape, that your body doesn't work for you anymore. And then you go home, you sit on the couch, and you feel guilty. Guilty that what? You could do 1 rep max on the bench press, 135 pounds. And you feel shameful. Shameful that you got to this place. Shameful that you let yourself go. And you swear that it'll never happen again. So you go 3 more times and then you stop going. For another 2 weeks, or another 2 months, or another 6 months, or even another year, till you go back to the gym and try and bench press again. And what? The same thing happens again. And you find yourself in this cycle. So see, it doesn't just happen to the woman who's a victim of domestic violence. It happens to all of us. All of you businessmen, guess what? The same damn thing. Same damn thing. So you're a businessman and you're trying to what? You're trying to create wealth. You're trying to grow and expand your business. Something happens that you don't like how it works, or you don't get enough leads, or you don't convert enough, or your margin isn't high enough, or whatever it is for you. Something happens. And what's the first reaction that you have? The first reaction that you have is you get angry, right? Try and prove me otherwise. You know I'm right. You get angry. And then what happens? You blame. You blame your Facebook funnel. You blame your marketing agency. You blame your videos. You blame your funnel. You blame anyone and anything that you can to take it away from you, right? It's not your fault that all these things are screwing up, that you're not converting, that you're not generating enough leads, that your margins are so small, like that your cost per leads are like, we could just go on and on and on. You keep blaming somebody. And then what? Then you feel guilty. You feel guilty that you've been blaming everyone else and that things aren't working. And then you feel shame. And then what happens? Then you do the same thing over and over and over again. The next day, the next week, the next month, you get triggered by the same thing and it just happens again. So I was talking really fast. Let's digest this for a minute. All of us run on patterns. All of us run on cycles. And we've talked about this prior, right? Which pattern serves you? Which pattern serves the victim of domestic violence? Which pattern serves a business owner? Which pattern serves you when you're trying to go to the gym? What pattern serves you in your relationship with your wife? Like I've given all of these examples, I'm going to hammer it home. Hammer it home with one more. What's the last one? The last one is me. So I was this big badass cop, right? I worked gangs, I worked SWAT, I worked narcotics, I worked undercover. I worked like everything that you could want to do in police work, I did. Like, I did all the cool jobs. Hang from the bottom of a helicopter? Yeah, I did that too. Like, I did it all. I was Billy Badass, right? So I'd come home. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I had this gnarly beard, long hair, which all the ladies wanted me. At least that's the story I told myself. I would come home and my wife would be asleep on the couch. And there'd be a pile of dishes in the sink, pile of clothes on the floor, food scattered everywhere, kids running everywhere, wife asleep. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And I would get triggered. I would get what? I would get angry. And I would start to what? Immediately blame her for everything. You're not a good wife. How could you do this? First of all, you don't have sex with me. Second of all, you're a horrible a wife. You're a horrible mother. Like, you let the kids run around. There's dirty dishes everywhere. The clean clothes are on the floor. The dirty clothes are on the floor. Like, I can't tell which way's up, which way's down. And I would berate her into the ground. And what would happen? I would sleep on the couch. She would sleep on the bed. Either that night or the next day, or sometimes even the next week. I would hold on to this feeling inside of me for so long until guilt finally took over and I'd feel guilty. Maybe I shouldn't treat her that way. Of course, part of that was probably my penis talking, like, I want to have sex. And so I would eventually feel guilty for what it was that I did, right? The way I acted or the way I reacted. And then I would feel shame. Shame for the condition I was in. Shame for yelling in front of my kids. Shame for treating her the way I did. So I'd go back and I'd apologize. Say, I'm sorry. Say I wanted things to be the way that they used to be. So reluctantly, what would she do? She would forgive me. And we go back to the way things used to be. Until I got triggered again. So see, for us to put judgment on the victim of domestic violence is for us to stick it's for us to stick, let's just say, a spear in our own eye. Like, imagine that you're looking in a mirror as you're mocking this poor woman. Like, the only difference between you and her is the conditions that she's in. That's it. You have the same patterns. So how is it that we get a better life? We have to change our patterns. We have to. So how is it that we change the pattern? This is the foundational formula that I was talking about. 1, we look at what? Stop looking at the feelings. Like, we talk about this cycle. This entire cycle is built on one thing and one thing only. Not looking at the facts, but looking at the feelings. What is it that happens when we start looking at feelings? Everything falls apart. Everything. Why? Because the feelings always lie. The feelings always lie. See, there's an old term in business. And this is how it goes. Men lie, women lie. Numbers, they don't lie. If you haven't heard that before as a businessman, well, congratulations. You should probably incorporate that into your business, right? Your middle manager, your vice president, like your marketing guy, like whoever it is, they can lie to you all day long and say that things are working or things aren't working. But at the end of it all, the numbers are the one that don't lie. You have to build your business based on numbers. Anyway, little side note. So if we're leading with feelings, where is it that we're going to end up? Well, we're going to end up wherever it is those feelings are taking us. And we don't even know where that is. Like, it's probably not going to take us to where we want to go. So how is it that we shift this? How is it that we break this quote unquote cycle of violence, which really in our world is just a cycle of emotions? How is it that we break free from this? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a couple little tricks. 1, the first thing we do is we lead with facts, not feelings, but facts. Why? Because the facts don't lie to us. Like, I have this table in front of me and I can look at the facts. This table is white and it's made out of, I don't know, laminate something. We'll just call it laminate. We'll just call it wood. White wooden table. This is a fact. I can see this table. It's white. I knock on it. It's wood. White wooden table. Now, I am the one that can add feelings and emotions into this. I hate this table. It's too hard. It's too ugly. It's too small. it's too white. Like I could say any of a number of things, but that is me just injecting feelings into this table. The facts are white wooden table. Like that's it. What would your life be like if you simply looked at the facts? The facts. And led with facts instead of feelings. How would your life be different? Apply it to your body. Apply it to your relationship with money. Apply it to your relationship with your spouse or your kids. How would your life be different if you merely focused on the facts? See, there's a tactical approach to life. There's a tactical approach to life. And I'm going to come back to this. But listen, here's the deal. The reason that I changed it to the tactical businessman is I had to be true to who I was. Like, here's the facts. I spent 15 years as a police officer. Here's the facts. I worked gangs, I worked SWAT, I worked undercover, I worked narcotics. I was a supervisor over an organized crime squad. Like, these were the facts. The facts were I was an expert shooter my entire career. The facts were I'm really good when it comes to the tactical approach of things. The facts are I screwed up my life. Don't believe me? Go listen to the Origins episode, i.e. my first one. The facts are I figured it out. The facts are I'm a certified trainer and warrior. The facts are I figured out a way to take all of the tactical approach that I used in police work and apply it to personal and apply it to professional life. Like, these are the facts. The facts are 95% of the men that I've coached over the last year are businessmen. That's the fact. So I can choose to ignore it. My feelings are I'm attached to police officers, which I am, and I always will be. And I still help them out as well. But the facts are that they are not the majority of the people who are attracted to my message. And I know why. But those are the facts. So I have to go with the facts. And the facts are a tactical approach to business is what people want to hear. That's what people connect with. So cool. That's what I'm going to give them. Real simple. Yes, we're still going to have police officers on the show. We're going to have businessmen on the show. We're going to talk about a lot of tactics that have to deal with life. But that's what it's going to be. The tactical approach to life, tactical approach to business, tactical approach to sex. Like, you pick it. That's what we're going to have. The tactical approach too. All right, going back to this formula. So this formula, how does it work? Facts first. After facts come the feelings. See, what are feelings? Feelings are nothing more than fuel. Think about this. Love, fuel. Anger, fuel. Hatred, fuel. Like, every emotion that's out there is a fuel to do or not do something. So when we lead with that fuel, what happens? Well, it's like lighting a torch, throwing on a fire. We never know what's going to happen, right? But if we lead with the facts, it's like a rocket, a fuel. I don't even know what those damn things are called. It's like a fuel capsule, fuel container attached to a rocket, right? When that fuel is focused, it allows the rocket ship to what? To take off, to go vertical. What sends it there is a fuel, i.e. the feelings. So the feelings allow us to what? The feelings allow us to focus. Focus on the target. Focus on what it is that we want. For those of you who've never shot a gun before, there's a simple way to shoot a gun. It's called sight alignment, trigger control. If you can remember those two things, you will become an expert shooter too. Maybe not right away, but eventually. Sight alignment, trigger control. Sight alignment, i.e. maintaining the sights on the picture or your target, what it is that you're going after, and trigger control, which is controlling the movement to make sure that you don't jerk the trigger or pull your gun and your sights off the target and miss. So the focus is like the sight alignment and trigger control on what it is that we want. And finally, the fruit. What is it that we're after? That's what we're after, and that is what we will hit if we lead with facts, use the fuel to what? Use the feelings to fuel us to our target, maintain that sight alignment and trigger control, and eventually we will hit what it is that we're after and obtain the fruit. Facts, feelings, focus, fruit. Sounds pretty cool, huh? Facts, feelings, focus, fruit. Facts, feelings, focus, fruit. This simple formula is what shifted my life. This simple formula is what allowed me to apply so many of the lessons, the tools, tactics, and techniques that I learned in police work into what? Into my personal life, into my relationship with my body, into my relationship with God, into my relationship with the way that I make and keep money. It's all connected. So see, you have a choice, just like I had a choice. And in fact, every day I have a choice. The choice is to live in this cycle of emotion that we talked about, or it's to deal with the facts, this foundational formula: facts, feelings, focus, fruit. One will get me what I want every single time. The other one will keep me stuck in what they call the loop of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So you have a choice to make. Which one will you follow? Now listen, I talked about this before, but why the shift? The shift is only an approach, because what it does is it allows you and me to be focused on what? On the facts, right? Some of the guests that I've had on, you've heard this. I haven't been overt about it, right? And for that, hey, I take full responsibility. Got enamored in the stories, which stories are cool, right? But our lives are dominated by stories, either stories based in fact or stories based in fiction. One's serving us, one's not. But we haven't talked enough about the tactics behind it all. Hence the shift. The shift of the tactical businessman. The shift that will allow you and I to get what we want out of life. Listen, I want to give you everything that it is that I have, everything that I possess, everything that I've learned, everything that I've coached men through, like literally helped men make money, helped men have more sex, helped men get the lifestyle that they want. So we can sit here and have a feel-good show, right? We could sit here and have Joe Rogan on here and smoke weed and talk about taking rockets to the moon. Super cool. Not going to change your life. Literally not going to change your life. So you want to listen to Joe Rogan and smoke weed? Go ahead. Listen to Joe Rogan and smoke weed. You want to talk about a tactical approach to life to get what you want? Then you're in the right place. So what's our focus going to be going forward? It's going to be talking to men, some businessmen, some police officers, some anything in between. Like whoever it is that I can get on this show that wants to share with you their story and the tactics that they use to get what they want. Like life is just a tactical approach if you choose for it to be. You want to talk about how Warren Buffett is the richest man on earth? You want to talk about Elon Musk? You want to talk about all these successful men and women who are out there? It's because they took a tactical approach to life. Like there's no secret to life. There's really no secret. Okay, well, maybe there is a secret. Here's the secret. You have to deal with the facts and put feeling second. You have to focus on what it is that you want, and you have to work your ass off, maintain your focus to get what you want. Like, life is simple, but it's difficult because we make it difficult. So what if we possessed all the formulas that we needed to get what we wanted out of life? Like, that's it. That's all you need. So listen, I've been putting this off for a long time. Why? Because I had stories in my head. I spent 15 years as what? As an employee. Basically being told what to do, when to do it. Did it suck? Yeah. Did I complain about it every day? Yeah. Did I do it anyway? Yep, that was me. And so it took me a while to break this. And with the help of some of my own coaches and mentors, I did. So guess what? I've created something. It's called the Tactical Business Experience. It's a 2-day event here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be going November 14th through 16th. 10 men. Ladies, you'll have to wait. 10 men. 10 men, that's it. 10 men who are going to learn a tactical approach to life. A tactical approach to business. Want to make more money? Want to have more sex? Cool. I can help you do that. I have the foundational principles for you. The coolest part is, guess how we teach it? Call it Guns and Gloves. You're going to learn through self-defense and through learning how to shoot a weapon and through advancing in that area, applying situational awareness and some other things. You're going to learn how to level up your life. You're going to learn how to get exactly what you want out of life. So it sounds like something that interests you. All right. There's going to be a site up soon. It's called The Tactical Businessman. Until then, you can email me, Gerritt, Gerritt, at warriorguardian.com. Text me that you're in. I'll send you the info. Listen, this is not like for everybody. Like, you got to be in this place where you want more. Like, you need this tactical approach to life. And I'll share it with you. In fact, we'll go through and we'll dissect your entire life, your business, doesn't matter, all of it. All of it. So that you can get what you want. So you're interested in this tactical approach to life? Email me. The site will be up soon, thetacticalbusinessman.com, where you can go and you can check it out, what it's all about, what it is we're talking about, how it is that we talk about it, and most importantly, what the benefit is to you. All right, that is it for today. I wasn't planning on this going 26 minutes, 27 minutes. I thought it was going to be shorter, but hey, I always go with what my heart says. My heart says there's a message that needs to be delivered, and it got delivered. As always, though, my brothers and sisters, you know who you are. Stay safe. Stay focused on what you want. And we'll see you on the next one.